Hey Taurus, what's up? So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into your September reading. I know it's been a while. I'm back. I'm starting off. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and then we have the Tower card in reverse. So I'm thinking in August. For a lot of you, I know I didn't do your reading for August, so it's kind of helping me understand what was happening for y'all. It looks like love was lost. And I think it was something you definitely couldn't control. It was something maybe on the other person's end. Maybe the person you were in a relationship with, or maybe just the way universe was, panning out for you. It was like something had to happen. Something had to be shaken to its core. It had to start over. It had to see what it was really made of. And I think it really tested the relationship between you and whoever this person is. Let's go ahead and see what signs are coming up for a possible partner that you could have been with. An Empress. This definitely could be anyone under the sign of Venus, so that would be Taurus, that could be Libra. So maybe in a relationship with yourself as well, if it's not another person. This definitely can mean it's about your self-love. And maybe some of you had to fall back in love with yourself, or maybe something happened where you had to really appreciate yourself or another person, your counterpart, your equal, whoever that may be, or it could be a Libra, Sun, Moon, rising, or Venus. What exactly happened, or what caused this Tower moment? What caused this Tower moment for Taurus in the past? Okay, control of emotions. So someone couldn't control their emotions, and it looks like things just kind of came to the top. And it could have had a lot to do with your domestic life, maybe a marriage, maybe just your family, the happy home life. It was like things were going good, and then something happened and all of that was kind of shaken to its core. What else caused this situation? Okay, so one of the things that caused this relationship to have issues or to collapse as a whole, Seven of Swords, that's deception. We know this is lies, this is manipulation, this is talking in circles, this is hiding something at the very least. And it looks like it could have been about something that had to do with work, like the person's career, or this person could have just been having issues working with you as a counterpart. Like things, like the cooperation isn't there. Yeah, like finding the balance between work, maybe work and home, work in the relationship, because we have the Chariot in reverse here, next to cooperation, the Three of Pentacles. And then Four of Pentacles, maybe some financial issues, or maybe something that this person is holding inside of themselves, meaning something that they're not exposing, something they're not even, coming to terms with themselves. They're really focused on pretending something isn't happening, keeping something a secret, maybe just focusing and putting all their energy into something completely different from their problems. And that could have been what was going on with that situation. So Taurus, how are you dealing with all of this? How are you, how are you holding up with this? Eight of Wands in reverse, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So I really feel like this is something that you feel came out of nowhere. I think you had no real warning signs, or maybe you had warning signs, but you weren't taking them, right? And then Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is leading me to believe that it kind of took away your everyday routine. Maybe you're having trouble connecting to how you used to do things. Like all of that is in the past, and I think you're having to adjust to that with the Seven of Pentacles here. This could have really made you feel, like you can't conquer the things you need to in the amount of time that you have. Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is all about letting go emotionally, letting yourself thrive, letting yourself be lighter, letting go of dead weight that had consumed you emotionally and kind of materialized into your life, So it's kind of like you have to embrace whatever this liberation is, whether you had a breakup, whether you had something that you and your partner got through. It's like something needs to be let go of. You need to shed that weight because it doesn't need to consume you anymore. You just need to shed the weight of caring about something that can't work out. You need to be liberated in the fact that you don't have a relationship for some of you. It just depends on what spectrum you're in. But it seems as though it's time for you to really just let go of it, surrender yourself to the process. And it looks like most of you are already out of the hardest part. It's just coping with those feelings afterwards. That's what you're in the midst of, right? Well, at least we're in the midst of in, the past and leading up until now for some of you. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go into your present energies. This is what's happening in your September, right? So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, and combination with that, we have the Ten of Swords. So the romance of the situation, the beauty of what love is. So kind of like when you're showing what love means for you. The way that you show love, it looks like it hasn't been directed in the right way. It hasn't been molded in the right way. So for a lot of you, you usually were a person who was very, very abundant with their love, likes to share their love, to show other people that they're appreciated in certain different ways, right? But it looks like you're having issues of maybe jealousy, maybe being bitter, a little shady or sarcastic with your words, not necessarily showing the best side of your emotional state with the Knight of Cups in reverse, in my opinion. And then with this Ten of Swords, it looks like this is a part of the cycle that you and your partner go through consistently. This is something that, whether you guys are good at one point, it always seems like there's a time that will come back again where you and your partner are having this weird tension. It's like a part of this cycle. And this cycle, I feel like you need to break, or you want to break. I'm not quite sure. We'll get into that in just a second. But I can definitely see that whatever this cycle is, it's something that continues consistently in your relationship. What part of this cycle is what shows? Five of Swords in reverse. So, either really harsh arguments or things that are put out into the forefront where you guys fight each other to the end. You guys really break each other down. This could definitely be in form of communication, like how you verbally speak to each other when you guys are getting in the heat of the moment. Six of Wands here. There always is a victor in this situation. There's always someone who's the winner, and there's always someone who feels like the loser. And with that being put into perspective, it's almost like you guys are in constant competition of each other. It's like you guys don't know how to settle when you're at odds in a way that's, productive for the relationship, and it doesn't tear you guys down. It doesn't make one of you feel like you're not as worthy as the other in that moment. It's like someone has to be, annihilated essentially for you guys to feel like, okay, it's settled, because that person can't do anything back now. And that's a really toxic situation to be in, Taurus. And then we have the King of Wands here. So I'm really starting to feel like there is a fire sign involved in the situation. So King of Wands in reverse. This is someone who could really say some hurtful things because they're not thinking, before they do. They're really just doing actions before they think about the consequences, before they think about how this affects the other person, the relationship, the situation of the whole matter. It's almost like they just do, and then they think about it later, or they only think about it when someone brings it up to them. And even then, they still may not have that moral compass to be like, yeah, you're right, maybe I should have dealt with that differently. Then Two of Pentacles, y'all. This is some tough energy to deal with in a relationship. And this relationship can be platonic. This could be, in regards to a family member or, a love relationship. But this relationship is very unbalanced. Two of Pentacles, it's almost like you're not focused on what the true matter is that you need to be focused on, but you can't even figure out what that is because you're so distracted. You have so many things on your plate emotionally that you have to take on, and some of you are taking on the burden of the other person, almost like you're trying to hold them up and hold yourself up emotionally or mentally as well. And it's a really toxic situation, but this is what you're in the midst of. So I want to kind of break down this energy just a little bit. Well, let's see, what are you guys focused on right now? What is it that you guys are focused on that isn't producing, success for you all? Nine of Wands in reverse. Some of you guys are having like this weird anxiety on being prepared to make the next step. So you're afraid. You're afraid of Four of Cups. I think you're afraid of what it means to sit by yourself, to start over for some of you, to be single, to not have that other person, talking and having conversations with. And I think a lot of you are afraid to be alone, in a sense, like you can take care of yourself, but it's like you have a desire to have a counterpart there. And I think you fear what it's like to not have that, but essentially you haven't really had anyone there with you because you guys are constantly at odds. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you don't have anyone there, but you feel like you do because they're physically there. And you guys have grown so accustomed to toxic communication that you feel like it doesn't matter what type of communication, as long as there is communication, as long as I have someone there that I can cling on to. So it's like a codependency issue. You feel like you're not strong enough, or you're not able to do things on your own, or change, whatever it means for change, you're afraid to do that. So I do want to see who could be in this relationship. Maybe we can get some different energies than before. All right, so we got two different cards. Another sign that you may be dealing with in your September is a Cancer, okay, Taurus? So Cancer is showing up. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. And then we also have the Fire card. So this could be any fire sign. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Okay, so this calls for a lot more energy. So it looks like most Tauruses are, going through this situation, maybe on different scales, maybe on different levels, maybe with different, people, but there's definitely something that's going on here. What does Taurus need to focus on? Justice, you guys. So especially if you guys are dealing with the Libra, and even if you're not dealing with the Libra, the Justice card is coming up very strong. Your advice is justice. So balance. You need to find a way to what's right and what's wrong. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at what's actually happening. A very logical type of energy. It's not based in your emotional reality. It's based in what's actually happening. What's the nitty gritty of the situation. Let's even this out. Let's balance this out. Right is right and wrong is wrong. What the Justice card really represents from this particular deck, you're at a crossroads. So you're at a time where you have to make a decision. You're at a moment in your life where things are, there's two ways you can go. You have to look at things from all angles of the spectrum. You can't just look at it from one perspective. You have to have all these different ways that you're looking at it, and then really look at what's right and what's wrong, the facts of the matter. Be realistic with yourself. Like, really look at yourself in the mirror and see what parts you play, but also what parts you don't want to participate in anymore. What parts do they play in that you don't want to deal with anymore? Look at all of the pros and the cons of the situation, not just with that person, but also what does this person bring to you emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, all of those ways that, is that how you see your relationship being? Is that how you want your relationship to be? Do you feel like it's fair? Do you feel like both of you guys are taking accountability and action and having equal parts in that situation? I think it's mainly about this like tug of war energy that you guys are putting up with, but it's almost like you just have to be real and be like, what do I see as fair for my relationship? What does a balanced relationship look like for you? And then once you go from there, the answers will start to be a little bit more clear for you, right? So moving on into your future, we have the Knave of Wands. So this could be, saying this person is going to be coming into the picture. And by this person, I mean this person's energy of this card. So Knave of Wands is a person who's young or younger, or maybe they have just a young spirit about themselves. They're usually very action oriented, or at least they seem to be very on the go, but they like to enjoy the moment at the same time. So they want to seize the moment. They want to use every opportunity. But with this comes a little bit of naivety that makes them feel like they just have to hold on to every second and take risks all the time. This person may have a tendency to, make some bad decisions, and that's normal. Everyone's gonna make bad decisions, but you have to understand if this person is the right fit for you in your life right now. Do you need this fire, or do you need to settle down? Have you been dealing with too much fire in the past to where it's time for you to, bring it down, become more grounded, maybe have a little bit more of that earth energy that you harness, Now, this Knave of Wands is, upright. So I don't think this person is here to cause much damage, if they are going to cause any damage. But I do think that this person, for a lot of you, is going to bring you some of that spontaneity that you need to have to kind of balance out this planned, structured, organized, long-term way that you've been thinking for so long. Maybe you do need a little bit of fire to spice some things up for you, to make it a little bit more eventful, so to speak. So you don't know every single thing that's going to happen that's coming your way, and maybe that's what you need to kind of get you back into the flow of things, so that you can stop just doing the motions and going through the motions, right? What is this person mainly going to bring into your life? How are they going to affect you in the future? How are they going to affect you? Alrighty, so 4 of Swords in reverse. So they're definitely going to make you start doing things, putting in some action. It's not time to just be thinking anymore. You're not going to be just laying down thinking about things. This person is going to kind of push you to do more, whether they know that they're doing it intentionally or they don't have a clue in the world. They just have some way of making you want to do more. Maybe you want to compete against this person, or maybe you're just tired of feeling like you're doing all the work or they're doing all the work. Maybe you want to balance out the action that's being put forth. We have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse here. So I also think this person is going to make you feel like, maybe I should just take advantage of what they're offering. Maybe I should just, for once, instead of me always trying to provide and do for others, maybe I should take this time. Maybe they're allowing me to have this. Maybe they're allowing me to take something that I need for myself right now. Whether that's time, whether that's resources, whether that's property, materials. What do you deserve from the situation, and how does it affect this person? It depends on your situation. 10 of Wands in reverse. It looks like because, you know, whatever situation you've been going through, I think when it comes to actions, you're going to be putting in more effort, but you're going to be putting forth more action coming in the next month, okay? So be prepared for that. What sign could this person be with all this energy that's coming through? Okay, so we got 2 cards. A Virgo, so a very energetic Virgo, or it could be a Gemini. Okay, so Mercury, a person who has a lot of Mercury. Then last but not least, what advice does Taurus need to remember going through all of this stuff coming their way, with this person coming their way? What's the main thing that they need to remember so they can move through this successfully for Taurus? All right, so we got Prince of Cups, which is mutable water. This relationship that's coming forth, this love situation that's coming forth, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and grab it by the balls and just go with it. See where it leads you. You may end up loving this person. You may fall back in love with this person. I'm not quite sure who this person is for you, but if it's a love situation, see where it goes. Try not to be such a stickler about the situation. And then internally, become more in touch with your creative side. Let your feelings and your emotions kind of flow a little bit more after you've been going through all of this structured, logical energy. In your future, go ahead and let yourself become a little bit more loose and don't become loose, guys, but let your energy flow a little bit freely, and don't be afraid to let your creative side come out a bit, right? All right, so that has been your September reading. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you would like a personal or private reading with me, you can book one by emailing lovefromaleo@gmail.com. I also have all of my other social medias down in the description box below, so go ahead and hit that up if you would like. Please leave a like, subscribe, and if you are subscribed, please make sure you're hitting the notification bell right next to it, and make sure it's turned on, because that way you can know whenever I upload for your sign and you won't miss out. This is a pretty good reading. It was very easy for me to see what was going on, so I think it might be a very powerful month for you. Just hang in there, Taurus, and for the most part, a lot of you guys are going to be having a lot of fun, so just make sure you keep that in mind and stay positive, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, Taurus.